Good morning, Mr. Padilla.
Good morning, Naive.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to interview you. It's always a pleasure.
You're welcome.
I reviewed your credentials, your resume, and your history, and I'm so impressed by your success. You were a millionaire by age 29, a multimillionaire by age 30. You drive a Rolls Royce, you travel around the world, you have multiple vacation homes, you're a devoted family man, and you own your own real estate acquisitions and investment firm. But wait a minute, there's a but to this. You flunked kindergarten through third grade. How does that happen? Is that correct?
So yes, I should have technically have flunked kindergarten through third grade, but because I went to a public school system, I was always pushed forward. And then I was also in ESL classes, English as a second language, and I was also in special ed classes.
Wow.
But when the teacher would come in to get me out of my normal room and take me out to go take the special classes, I really thought I was special in a good way. So I thought I was special, and I got this great opportunity to go and be in a private setting with a special group of kids.
That is quite an amazing journey. And despite all of that, you started your own real estate acquisition and investment firm, and you've been able to purchase almost $97 million in real estate as a principal. How does that happen?
Well, yes, I was able to do all that, but more importantly, I'm living what I call the good life.
Okay, so really, what does living the good life mean?
Excellent question. It means that I no longer have to work because I've created the net worth and the passive income from my real estate holdings to where I don't need to work anymore. Living the good life means that I've been able to make all of my parents' dreams come true. I've been able to make my wife's dreams come true. So for example, earlier this year, my wife had a dream of going to Europe. So we went to Europe for 43 days. And obviously my wife came with us, our nanny came with us, our little girl came with us, and we brought grandma and grandpa with us. And we had an amazing time. So that's what living the good life means. It also means that I've made all of my dreams come true. Like earlier you said, becoming the self-made millionaire, the self-made multimillionaire, driving the Rolls Royce, and living the good life, owning a vacation home in Kabul. That was a big dream for me. And now I also get to mentor other students. And that's all part of living the good life.
Mentoring, what an excellent way to give back. Talk to me a little bit more about your mentorship program.
Well, basically I got tired of all the bullshit programs, the infomercials on, you see some guy on a yacht with some, bikini models in the background, or it's a weekend event in a huge auditorium and you see 200 to 500 people in there. So I wanted to really mentor students one-on-one on what it really takes to build wealth, to create the financial freedom, to create the passive income, to create the good life. And that's what I do, is I really teach them what it really takes to create that exponential growth through real estate investments.
That is the good life. So you mentioned that you show students what it takes to live the good life. So what does it take?
Naibe, it takes hard fucking work. And that's what the masses don't want to hear. As I'm sure right now when I said that, you were a little shocked.
Right.
But the masses don't want to hear that. They want to hear about, working 4 hours a day. They want to hear about these fantasies of overnight millionaires. But that's not the truth. The truth is that it takes hard fucking work and discipline to create wealth and live the good life. For me personally, after investing over $250,000 in my training and with mentors, I've really boiled it down to 5 things, 5 critical factors that it takes to build the good life.
So 5, that sounds simple, but what are those 5 critical factors?
Well, number 1 is you need to have strong self-esteem. Okay, you need to feel good about yourself. That's number 1. Number 2 is you need self-confidence in the line of business that you're going to be working in. So if you're going to get into real estate, you need to have that self-confidence that you know the business so that it gives you the courage to take the action. Number 3 is your philosophy. What's your philosophy about the business that you're in? So for me, in real estate, I know whether the market goes up or the market comes down or the market is flat. I know that somebody needs to sell and I know that somebody needs to buy. And my job is to get in the middle and provide a solution. That's my philosophy. Next is you got to take massive, skilled action with adjustments. In 2007, I had the opportunity to fly down to Scottsdale, Arizona and have breakfast with a billionaire. And one of the big lessons that this billionaire taught me is he said, Hector, don't be the fly on the window. So what happens when you see a fly in the window? It's banging its head, and then that fly dies. If that fly were to simply stop, re-anchor itself, look to the left, look to the right, he would see that to the left is an open door, to the right is a window, and he'd be able to fly out and continue on his journey. Okay, so we got to take that massive skilled action, but we need to make adjustments. The next thing, number 5, is having the right mentor and the right team. I've never met an affluent man, a successful business owner, that has not had a mentor and a team. So those are really the 5 critical factors that you need really to succeed in any business, but especially in the real estate business.
Well, all of this sounds really good, but what makes you unique or your training different?
Well, number 1, I'm the real deal, Naibe. I've been investing, and I'm doing it right now, right here in Los Angeles, one of the hottest markets in the whole country. The other thing that makes me unique is I'm the one doing the mentoring. What I despise is other coaching programs where you have a coach that has no experience. He's actually reading from a manual. And then he's asking questions on, well, why do you feel this way? And, why are you doing this? And what do you feel you should do next? They're not giving the student any real meat on the bone. They're just BSing their way through the coaching. My clients are not looking for a life coach or a psychiatrist on why they're feeling the way they're feeling. They want to be told what to do and how to do it based on real life experience. So Naibe, they come into my office and they meet with me one-on-one. We do a deep dive analyzation of what they want their business to look like, what they want their life to look like. So I'm the one doing the coaching. Then we have weekly phone calls that I'm the one on the call, not a trainee or some other instructor that doesn't have that real life experience. And then we also do emails to hold the student severely accountable for their actions and to make sure that they're producing the results that they want to produce. Then part of the training, Naibe, is we meet in my Cabo beachfront home. After about 6 months of training, we meet again to reevaluate where the student is, are they accomplishing their goals, and where they want to go. No bullshit. This training is not easy, and it's definitely not for everybody.
It sounds intense, but really gratifying. Who should not take your mentorship program?
Good question. This is why I have this. So someone that has been using this as a crutch their whole life should not take my training. Someone who says, I can't succeed because I went to a public school system. I can't succeed because I didn't go to an Ivy League school. I can't succeed because my parents didn't go to college. I can't succeed because I come from a working class family. All of that is using a crutch. So someone that has been using a crutch their whole life to not succeed should not take my training. The other person that should not take my training is someone who needs a hug. If they need a hug, get a teddy bear. Okay? Don't take my training. Because I am tough. Because I know what it takes to succeed in this business. And like I told you in the beginning, everybody wants to hear about how easy it is. How just to work a few hours a day and then you become an overnight millionaire. Those are the students that I don't want to take and should not take my training.
Wow, so on the other end of the spectrum, who should take your exclusive mentorship program?
The people that should take my training are people that are serious, that are disciplined, that have a good work ethic, and that they understand it's going to take hard work to succeed in any business. And that's why I also have this, okay? This right here is a stallion. Most of my students are stallions, but they need to have the blinders on. They need to have the blinders on so they can continue to go straight. And me, as their mentor, I'm the jockey in the back, and what they need a good whipping to make sure that they're walking straight and accomplishing their goals. And it takes hard work to do it.
Wow, that's intense. How much does your mentorship program cost?
One thing I learned a long time ago is that this kind of training, having this kind of mentorship, it's not a cost, it's an investment. One of my mentors once said, Hector, if you buy a book on how not to have a heart attack, the cost of the book is $25. But because you did not have the heart attack and you're still alive, what's the value of the book? It's priceless. Naibe, do you think if a student will invest 1 year with me personally mentoring them with phone calls, with emails, meeting in my Cabo vacation home, in 1 year, can I teach them how to create time freedom and financial freedom? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's why the investment is well worth it.
And how can someone join?
Well, no one can just join. So remember at the beginning of the interview, I told you that I didn't like, the coaches that are taking on all these students and the auditoriums with the 200 to 500 students. So I don't do that. So no one can just call my office and join. I cherry pick, I hand select only 7 students per year that I'm personally going to mentor.
So how can they apply?
Well, they can contact my office, and my office will send them a very deep questionnaire. I want to know if they're going to have the work ethic. I want to know what their goals are. I want to know whether they have experience or no experience. And once they fill out that application, again, I'll cherry pick 7 students per year that I'm personally going to mentor.
Mr. Padilla, like always, this has been a very enlightening and informative conversation. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Naive.